Hello and welcome to Motors for the Masses, and today we've got a bike that was British and then Indian and has been Indian for almost the same amount of time as it's been British, if that makes sense. So we are going to roll the intro and we are going to get cracking, but I just want to admit something first. Now, we're not going to be doing a full review on this bike that I had planned, and that's for several reasons. One, because this bike has been ordered in especially, and I don't think it's fair for me to do many miles on this bike before it goes to the customer. The customer knows about the review, but they obviously want to ride it, and so there's going to be a follow-up video to this at a later date. I know, it's confusing, but just watch it, enjoy it, and hopefully we'll go from there. So let's roll the intro and get cracking. Royal Enfield started building motorcycles in 1901 in Redditch, England. In 1952, Madras Motors took delivery of 500 Royal Enfields for the Indian Army, leading to them partnering with Royal Enfield in 1955. In 1960, Royal Enfield introduced the Interceptor as a 700cc, and in 1967, Royal Enfield shut down its Redditch branch and left the UK altogether in 1970, with the company becoming Enfield India, producing and exporting bikes until 1994, when the ICA Group bought the company and renamed it Royal Enfield Motors Limited, remaining in India at that time. Things went well, but remained quite exclusive to India and quite rare in the UK until the 2000s were well underway. With Harris Performance coming on board in 2015, the company then saw expansion into the USA, and a new technology centre opening in the UK in 2017. That same year, the new Interceptor was introduced, and 2021 sees Royal Enfield celebrate its 120-year anniversary. Which brings me to today. Ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding for the Royal Enfield Interceptor 650. The Interceptor uses a fantastic retro-looking twin-cylinder, 8-valve, 4-stroke, single overhead cam, air and oil-cooled 648cc engine, which produces 47 brake horsepower and 38 pounds-foot of torque, with a 6-speed gearbox and slipper clutch, having an alleged top speed of 105 miles an hour. Which is not fast, but then this is not the bike to do speed on, and with 47 brake horsepower, just scrapes into that A2 license category. The bike has twin throttle bodies, of course, Bosch fuel injection, and also 99 grams per kilometre of CO2s. That's interesting, isn't it? The bike has a steel frame, but I do have to say, lovely looking clean welds on there, very nice indeed, really like them. My only concern is this rear hanger. Now it's nice, and again the welds are nice, but that forms the mounting bracket for the exhaust, and I do wonder if this fell over, whether that would damage that, which would also bend the frame. I don't know. It's sturdy, don't get me wrong, nice and solid, a great piece of metal, but I just wonder if that would cause further damage than it actually needs to. However, on the brighter side, I do like this key slot here to be able to unlock this side panel to get to the battery. One of the best features of this bike has to be this side casing. Lovely polished aluminium, really nice indeed. But on a negative side, I'm not quite sure it goes well with this bracket. It just seems a bit cheap and a bit flimsy. Well, no, I wouldn't say flimsy, no, it's sturdy enough, but it just looks a bit cheap, and I wonder if they could have polished that as well. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not an off-putting thing to actually buy the bike, I don't think. I mean, I can see what they've done. You've got that, which sort of goes with the foot pegs as well, which also goes with this light bracket and the mounting bracket for the, I suppose you could say, silver looking mudguard. However, getting back to that and that is plastic, and it doesn't look it, but it is. And the same goes for the rear mudguard, also plastic. And I would have thought that would have been painted metal, not plastic. Brakes wise, up front you get a 320mm disc, quite mammoth, and Bybree twin piston caliper. Now Bybree being the baby brother or baby sister of Brembo. As you can notice here, you get ABS as well, and it is dual channel ABS, so you get ABS front and rear. And speaking of the rear, you get a 240mm disc with a single piston caliper. Again, as I said, with that ABS. Now, sticking with the rear for a minute, what I do like about this is a mixture of retro and modern, very modern looking exhaust pipes from the back end, but it's not out of sync, shall we say, with the rest of the bike. It actually works really nicely. As we said before, plastic mudguard here and plastic surround, but the biggest thing that is really annoying for me is these indicators. Now, they look chrome again, and the same with this rear light, but it's plastic. And I would have thought that these would have been metal. And I know maybe it's weight saving, but really, I mean, how long before they get a bit crappy and that starts to peel off? Just the metal ones would have been a nice touch. And again, with this, quite retro, it's okay. It's a light, you know, it doesn't really do much. What I do like is the grab handle here and the grab handle on the side, which helps when you put it on the center stand. Up front, you get these traditional right way up front forks and twin piggyback gas-filled shocks on the back. Wheels are these rather nice aluminium wheels with stainless steel spokes, and you get a 100/18 front tyre and a 130/18 rear tyre. And they are Pirelli Phantom, so they're decent tyres as well. And also quite retro looking for the 70s era that it's aimed at. You get a just under 14 litre tank, and the bike is actually well weighted at 202 kilos. It is a well-sized but narrow bike at just over 2.1 metres long, but only 745mm wide and 1.16 metres tall, plus the mirrors, so plus another 20 centimetres. Other than that, I am 5'10½" and I have a 31.5-inch inside leg, and I can get my feet flat on the floor, no problem at all, because it has an 805mm seat height. Now, the only thing I would say is that my feet would have to be here, because if I put them here where they naturally are, these dig in your shins or in your calves, and that's a little bit annoying, but it's well proportioned for where you would use them. So yeah, here's fine. Here is no problem at all, but then obviously mind your leg on the engine casing. Comfortability wise, it feels very comfortable indeed. The seat is quite firm and the suspension is quite firm, but when we take it out on the road in a later video, we will do a hell of a lot more on-road testing at that point. For now, I'm actually pretty pleased. Now, the best thing about this is that the person who is having this bike in actually 20 minutes time, so I haven't got long left, I know them very well, so I can use this bike. I just thought it was a bit unfair to give him a brand new bike with 30 miles on the clock. So that's why we're doing this style of video today. I do apologise, but as you know, Royal Enfields are not easy to get hold of. I was quite lucky to get this for the customer. However, what I do like is the view you get from here, especially on this top of the range colour option that we've got, and I'll talk more about that in a minute. But what I like is everything, to be honest. I like these chrome bars. This brace bar is quite nice as well, although maybe a nice leather pad on there would be good. Clocks look fantastic, very, very simple, but very nice to see indeed. The grips are very comfortable and certainly have a lot of grip. Now that sounds a bit weird, I know, but they are very grippy grips and they're not slippery in any way whatsoever. I like the style of these mirrors, they go well. The same with these levers, although again, I mean, they're sort of brushed alloy look, but they just look a bit sort of unfinished or cheap. Is that the correct word to use? Do they look cheap? I don't know. I don't know. You decide. You let me know in the comment section below what you think of them. I do like this, although I have to say that to unlock it goes that way and not that way, which is a bit weird. But I also love these badges. Really, really nice. Very good touch. Not just stickers, not just stuck on badges. Very nicely machined and coated Royal Enfield badges. Look at them, look, very nice indeed. Really finishes the bike off very nicely indeed. And I keep saying very nicely indeed, but that's because I am quite impressed with the way it looks. More than quite impressed, very impressed. If I was to have one criticism with this area, it would be these generic switch gears. And I would have thought they would have used something a little bit more upmarket than these, which you find on a lot of bikes. Nothing special. Plastic, you know, they're not flimsy, you know, the switches are very nice. They are good, clunky switches, very positive, but they just look a bit generic. And I would have thought something a little bit extra special would have been better. But don't forget, this bike is built to a price point, so they have to scrimp perhaps on something. Maybe just not something that's so prominent. I mean, to be honest, how much would have that cost? Just to upgrade that a little bit, especially when they've gone for these bar ends, nice machined bar ends, and then these cheap looking switch gears. That's just weird. Why does that go to the right? That's weird. Anyway, what do you think? Well, let's start it up and have a listen, shall we? That is a lovely sound. Very deep and throaty, but also with a little bit of rasp in it as well. Very nice indeed. As I said, I'm sorry we can't take it out on the road today, but we will do in a future video, and not too far in the distant future. It's just that I just can't do it today. It's all about timing, isn't it? And I apologise. Gutted. Right, so let's talk colours and price. Well, I'm actually pretty impressed by the range they offer, which is Orange Crush, Mark III, which is black, Silver Spectre, which sort of speaks for itself really, at £5,700 on the road. Then you get Ravishing Red, which is red and black, Baker Express, which is white with red and yellow stripes, at £5,900 on the road. And at the top of the range, this, the colour known weirdly as Glitter and Dust, which is chrome with a black and gold stripe. And that is £6,200 on the road. Which this one is, yes, the Glitter and Dust version. Chrome version. I suppose there's a little bit of glitter in the metallic of this, perhaps. I don't know. Anyway, this is the top of the range bike, and it comes in, as I said, £6,200 on the road. What do you think? Let us know in the comments section below. And that is all we have time for this video. It's a lovely looking bike, and I've only ridden it very, very short on the PDI, unfortunately, or just after the PDI. Unfortunately, as I said, we can't do a proper video, but that is coming very soon, as is lots of other stuff as well, so please stay tuned for that. We'll be back with more bikes, more cars, and cars that won't stop starting for emissions testing. It's been a nightmare of a day, trust me. A video that should have taken an hour has taken me about 6 hours, because the constant interruptions, the constant phone calls, and the constant ambient noise. And I understand I'm in a workplace, my own workplace, and I understand there's ambient noises. But my God, sometimes does it get annoying. And on that, I'll leave you. Thank you very much. So until next time, please ride and drive carefully, but have fun. Bye-bye. Thank God that's over.